Hello everyone, my name is Katie Galligan, and today my presentation will be over prescriptions, corruption, and crisis. To begin, I will start with an overview for my presentation. I will start with explaining the Pharmacist documentary created by Netflix in 2020. Then I will describe how this documentary relates back to the course and the topics we have covered. Then I will do my personal take on the documentary as well as how it relates to the course. And then finally, I will show my sources. So to begin, what is the Pharmacist documentary? The 2020 Netflix documentary follows along the journey of a pharmacist in a small town in Louisiana known as Daniel Schneider. His goal is to get justice for his own son and also protect the lives of others. The first episode of the documentary takes us to the beginning where his son was killed in a drug deal gone wrong. The drug that he was trying to buy was OxyContin. It is a very addictive substance that is a prescription pain medication. After he found this out, he went on the mission to expose the corrupted pharmaceutical industry and its roles in the deaths of thousands due to drug overdoses. How he did this was him and his wife actually worked on their own to bring a case forward. The case was against a doctor known as Dr. Cleggett. What she would do was she would prescribe the OxyContin drug to people who were saying they needed it for pain medication. The drug was extremely addictive, and these people were coming in at all times of the day, including at 2 a.m. in the morning. People were waiting in line for hours to get it. The police were involved. The doctors knew. It was a money grab. The more people who bought it, the more money they made. And it not only affected those patients, but also patients started selling their own prescriptions to the community, and which started the drug epidemic, which ultimately led to the death of his son. In the documentary, he uses words such as corruption, also conspiracy. He also discusses how those doctors were ultimately murderers, leading to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people across America due to the drug overdoses. In addition to this, he also stated that he couldn't save his own son, but ultimately he wanted to work to save the lives of others that he could. So this brings us how this related back to our course. What I really was thinking, my ultimate thought was, he also mentions Purdue Pharma in it, how they were one of the biggest industries who supplied the OxyContin, who marketed the OxyContin. And that's actually what Module 6 discussed, was the healthcare marketing, how they're able to market something like this as a positive thing, a good thing, something that helps people rather than harms them. So then that brought me back to the principles of medical ethics that we also discussed all throughout this year in this course of autonomy, benefits, non-maleficence, and also justice. All of these things were to help people, to have them make their own decision, a strong decision based on facts and logic. Also, how healthcare providers are supposed to protect people, do what is in the best interest of them, do it legally and do it correctly, and also bring justice when that does not occur. Which brings us to the law and the legal side of healthcare. He uses the term drug dealers in white jackets in the documentary, which I think is very accurate for this situation. They were selling these prescriptions knowing that that was not what was correct, that it was going to cause harm. And I think just knowing that and knowing that healthcare providers are supposed to protect people, it ultimately what really got me thinking of just how impactful this situation is. So I already started to say it, but how disheartening I believe the situation is. I think that it's terrible that people are taken advantage of when they're just trying to help loved ones. I also think that it's hard because desperate times come for desperate measures. I know for my loved ones, if they're going through something, I'm going to do anything I can to try to be able to protect them. And if someone you love is in pain, you want to see them better. If it means taking a medication and you think it's making them better, you're going to do it. And I think that was what the case was for a lot of people until it was too late. And then another point that I just thought about was how money has such an effect on this world, as well as the healthcare industry. I think that it's a sad reality that that is the case, because ultimately there are doctors and pharmacists who just want to help, who just want to make people better. But there are also ones like Dr. Cleggett and those working with her and the dealers of all these addictive drugs, that they just ultimately want money. And I think that is a sad reality. But I think if we continue to make laws and regulations against it, it can be a problem that can be dealt with. And then finally, these are my sources that I used. Thank you.